This is a unit exploring the mathematical concept of vectors and their applications. It's designed for 10th to 12th grade students in pre-calculus with materials and activities that are designed with Webb's depth of knowledge and Gardner's multiple intelligences in mind, so that students with every learning style are successful in grasping the concepts. The unit also includes objectives and activities that address California state content standards in science and Common Core math standards, as well as educational technology standards. Now, the content standards for both math and science include vectors. Vectors have both magnitude and direction. It's important for students to understand the difference between vector and scalar quantities, as well as be able to solve problems involving vectors both graphically and algebraically. It's very easy to tie physics in to this unit because vectors are also used to describe forces such as gravity and friction. The technology standards covered in this unit really focus on students' abilities to create original works to express what they are learning, work collaboratively with each other, like real scientists, and use technology to communicate their ideas with both peers and supervisors, building on their skills that they will need post-high school, perhaps in college, or even in the workplace. Both the activities and the technology incorporated in this unit are specifically designed to be effectively used for each of Gardner's multiple intelligences. For example, logical mathematical learners will really respond to solving the algebra problems they are presented with, as well as predicting the result of each problem involving vectors. Technology such as GeoGebra, where students can explore mathematical concepts on their own, will be helpful for mathematical learners. Students who are kinesthetic learners, activities such as giving directions, moving around the room, and role-playing as a teacher will be helpful for those students who really need to get up and move in order for ideas to stick. Kinesthetic learners will also enjoy using the Chromebook. Intrapersonal learners will use websites such as Khan Academy, where they can watch videos on how to do certain problems and keep track of their own progress toward each objective. They will also use Poll Everywhere, where they can try their best to answer a question and compare their results with other students. This unit also involves many collaborative and group activities so that interpersonal learners really feel included and they're able to contribute something to their learning as well as the learning of their classmates. We will use technology like email and Google Hangouts where they can work together and discuss the concepts with other students. Verbal linguistic learners will have the opportunity to use Google Forms and Google Docs to write down and record what they're learning about vectors. Verbal linguistic learners will also have the chance to brainstorm their own reflections on their learning, as well as the reflections of their classmates. Vectors are a great concept for visual learners because we do a lot of drawing on graphs, and not only drawing on graph paper, but we can go on GeoGebra and graph vectors and dissect the different components. This unit includes activities such as color coding our notes and creating videos that will make each concept easier for visual learners to understand. We will also use Glogster, an online poster making website, for students to create their own visual representation of what they have come to understand over the course of this unit. Musical learners have the chance to be really creative and develop sounds that represent directions. So instead of giving verbal directions, they will use an online tool called Jam Studio, like an online version of GarageBand, take vector directions and make sounds in order to direct their classmates where to go. Naturalist type learners will have a lot of fun with the treasure hunting activity, as well as measuring and classifying vectors into their different types. For these naturalist learners, we will use Google Maps and classify vectors using Google Sheets. This unit on vector applications addresses every level of Webb's depth of knowledge. The first level is when students can recall and reproduce the concepts that they're learning. In this unit, we define vocabulary and identify different components of a vector. Level 2 of the depth of knowledge is when students can apply a skill or concept. In this unit, we practice using vectors and giving directions with vectors. We also demonstrate what happens in order to create resultant vectors. The third level is strategic thinking, where students can compare the different kinds of vectors, teach the concept of vectors to other students, and figuring out how to solve them. Level 4, the depth of knowledge, is extended thinking. In this unit, students will be brainstorming and making connections between new knowledge and prior knowledge. They will be designing a treasure hunt based on their understanding of the concept of a vector. One of their final projects will be analyzing information to develop an accurate depiction of a particular event. By addressing each depth of knowledge, we guarantee that students will be able to apply what they've learned in this classroom to the outside world beyond. For myself, in this class, I've learned a lot about new tools and technology that's available. I've learned how to be creative with technology in mathematics, which isn't always easy to do. In the future, I really hope that the school that I work at has unlimited access to technology. I really want the chance for all students to be successful, and using technology in more and more creative ways makes that possibility more likely. Using technology in the classroom is more than just showing videos. Getting access to technology is worth it.